So the first question I have for you is how did you become interested in working in visual development?
Man, that's a long story. Okay, so first off, like I've always loved drawing. I think that's like a common thing for every like artist in the industry, just drawing all the time. But the interesting thing is I didn't start off like I didn't even imagine myself in animation. I was doing like engineering stuff because I was like, well, this is like stable. Like, I guess I should just do this, right? But I always found myself like skipping class to draw things and like not paying attention. And I thought, ooh, this is a bad idea. Let's not do this. And I decided like, okay, since I like drawing all the time, might as well just like do something with that. Um, so I looked into different fields and stuff, and I saw animation. I was like, I mean, I love animation. I always loved animation. And I thought it'd be pretty cool to just get into it. Like it's kind of like for me at that point, it was like an all or nothing thing. Like let's just do what I want, right? And so that's after like looking through different schools and stuff, I landed on ATEC because it was like it was local. I thought it was cool, and yeah, pretty much. Um, and that's kind of where I ended up. But as far as like what led me to biz dev, um, I think it had to do with the fact that I like doing a lot of things. I like drawing a lot of things. Like I think I'd get bored just sticking to one thing. Like I like imagining worlds, right? Like if I think of a character, I'm like, okay, where does this character live? Like, what do they do? Like, what does their house look like? What are their hobbies? Like, what are their friends like? What's the world they inhabit? Like, and my mind naturally just does all that and like connects all these dots, and then I find myself wanting to just get it out there on paper because I don't like having things in my head because I feel like I'm not doing anything. Um, and Viz Dev is pretty much the thing that kind of like encapsulates that for me and like allows me to just be that. So
And thank you for sharing that. This is the first story I've heard where somebody switched majors or from engineering to an ATEC major. And I will say though that with visual development that you just have to be so cerebral with everything. Because I mean, I don't see myself doing that, but like what you do, I am impressed by just how you come up with the concepts and just make it look visually appealing as well. And also for you as well, you touched on it a little bit, but how did your time as an ATEC student help you out with pursuing your goal of visual development?
um I guess the environment was pretty I the first thing that stood out to me when I got to ATEC was like it was cool being surrounded by people who liked the same stuff that you were doing and kind of going the same general direction because like while I was in engineering, it's like, we all want to be engineers. I'm just like, oh, good for y'all. But like, I didn't feel strongly about it. But it was kind of the first time where I was literally surrounded by people who also like loved the stuff that I liked, like hobby, like not like hobby wise, but like but yeah, I guess hobby wise because like watching animations could be a hobby, but like also career stuff, right? And so that community kind of helped me like envision myself in these spaces more. And then on top of that was also like the professors were like also really cool and really supportive. Like they actually were in the trenches or are in the trenches, like working in animation and like having them share their experiences was also really, really helpful. And also like just networking and stuff, like the, there are people who literally like in your vicinity, in your face, like you're interacting with these people who are in the industry or will be in the industry. It's like that I think is so valuable. Like one of the main reasons why I thought college was valuable for me was just that aspect. So yeah,
Yeah. And just to touch on what you're saying, I would say arguably ATEC's greatest asset is its community. The fact that you talk
yeah,
about how you can connect with your peers, your professors in the trenches who know what they're doing, who have that industry experience as well, and how like that can benefit all of us as well. And just on top of that, for you, and I know that since you have graduated, what has your post grad life been like for you career wise and using your skills?
so while I was in school, I had like the opportunity of working on like an anime by Studio Chizu called Bell. I think it's called Bell. I don't know if is the title. I'm pretty sure it's called Bell. And so I did that when I can't remember because COVID, the quarantine has like ruined my sense of time. So I think I was a junior becoming a senior when they like contacted me for like freelance character design stuff. And then I kind of bled into my post-grad stuff where I finished out with that. And then I hopped immediately on another project, which I'm on right now. So I've just been like doing full-time biz dev stuff since graduation, and it's pretty much just been that. I mean, it's really fun because it feels like it's like a post-grad thing. Well, like no, it's like grad school that you get like paid for, where like I feel like I'm learning so much information and so much like just and not just like on the art side, just like on like the communication side, like how to work on a team. Because like freelance and like in studio stuff, at least for my like small experience, is really different. Because I feel like with freelance, you're just kind of like a small like mercenary who's like contacted and contracted to do this one thing, and like you might have some communication with the people who you're doing, but it's not like a team. And like working on a team is so like you just kind of have to like know how to navigate that, right? And I feel like with this job that I have now, the studio I'm at, like it's helped me like become a better like team player.
Oh yeah, and I would say, and I would imagine for you that it's just that so much excitement and just be able to do different gigs and things like that, and how that must be like just like boost your creativity. Is that what you get from that as well?
Yeah, I mean it's really fun like working on different projects because I mean the thing about freelance that I liked was you get to just leave like it ends pretty quickly and you get to
Yeah,
bounce to something else that might be wildly different than what you started with like with the other thing. Um, and that kind of like prevents you from getting burnt out.
yeah,
It allows you to kind of like develop a different, well, I mean, I guess it depends because if they hired you because of your like the specific styles you do, then I guess you're kind of typecast into that. But like if they hired you because you just are good at drawing and stuff, like it depending on what they ask you to do, you might end up doing different things
hmm,
and getting to explore different styles and kind of tap into the heads of different creative people. Like I think it's pretty valuable for like anybody getting into this.
hmm. Oh, and also as well, just based on everything you said and all the experiences you've had, what advice would you give to college students or just people out there in general?
Um, I would say it's really important to like I'm trying to think about what to say because there's like so many bits of advice. But I guess the most important thing is like understanding what you want to do. Like there's so many different like areas of the animation, like different pipeline parts that like people kind of like confuse with each other or like they think they want to do one thing and they want to do something else. So like people might hear biz dev and think, oh, I guess I'll do biz dev. And it's like, do you really want to do biz dev though? Because if you might like storyboarding more, right? And storyboarding is a thing of itself. Like I am not a storyboarder. Like I respect storyboarders because they're fast, they're agile, they're expected to do like a crap ton of drawings. Like, you know what I mean? Or like maybe you're not into the 2D thing at all. Maybe you just like 3D stuff, right? And I think understanding what you like to do, like early, like while you're in college, like taking like different classes and just kind of like trying stuff, because that's your opportunity to just try things. I mean,
Mhm.
it's everything's pretty much there. Like you have like also professors to help you, like if you don't really know how to do things, is valuable. So by the time you do get out, you kind of have a better general idea of like what exactly you want to do. Because I think if if you if you have this unfortunate thing where like I guess not unfortunate, getting a job in animation is just is good. I feel like it's cool in general. But like say you get a job as like a biz dev artist, but you absolutely just hate it and you wish you did storyboarding instead. I feel like it'd be better to know that before you graduated. But I mean, you know, sometimes things don't work out and you change. So even then you could end up changing your mind and that's cool too. So yeah, just kind of understanding the pipeline and understanding what you want will like definitely allow you to be a bit happier at wherever you end up, you know?
Mhm. And I'm appreciative of the fact that you mentioned the pipeline and how you have to wrap everyone has to wrap their heads around the pipeline as well. And that's also key that you mentioned that you have to people have to know what they're supposed to do or what they want to do. And of course plans can change, but I love that you mentioned that too, that hey, it's okay if things change for you. And so I think that's
Yeah.
solid what you said.
I mean, I changed majors, so I can't like talk
Oh,
shit if anybody like changes like literally like you know,
yeah.
if you don't like something, just leave and just do
Oh
something
yeah.
else. Like life is short.
Oh, exactly. And you're an example of it can work out if you change plans.
Hmm.